Welcome to day 44 of the Sacred Pause. And thank you from the bottom of my heart to our dear brother Ian for his meditation last night. In the words of Jeffrey, Ian seems to have an ability to zap us with his wisdom and his sound bowls. We love you dearly, brother. Thank you for putting us into a beautiful trance. Now, I'd like to start today with a poem which I wrote actually for Pearl's goddesses, her group of queens, so I wanted to share it with you too. Is it the never quite forgotten bliss of heaven that puts the warmth in my heart through my coldest hour? Is it the divine recollection of the sweet music of the angel's harp, which lets my soul dance when my life seems to stop? Is it the everlasting light that used to shine upon me in your kingdom, which illuminates me when my world is shrouded in darkness? Is it you, God, who is holding my hand just when it feels like I'm about to forget? Thank you. Today I'm going to tell you a little story, and I hope you'll be able to tell me what it all means and the answers that are to come out of it. Once upon a time, there lived a king. He had everything he wished for. But one fine day, a sage came to him in his dream and told him he had to answer 3 questions. If he could answer each of them correctly by dusk the next evening, he would get to keep his kingdom. But if not, it would all be taken away. Now the questions were: what is the most important time of your life? Question 2. Who is the most important person in your life? And question 3. What is the most important thing to do? The king became restless. He really wanted to find out the answers, so he went to his advisors and asked the questions. His advisors, after listening to them, said, "Oh, your holiness, the most important time is the time you became king." To his second question, they replied, "Well, you are the most important person because you are the king. And if it is not you, it is the emperor." And to his last question, they replied, "King, the thing to do is to expand your kingdom. That is the most important thing you could possibly do." But these answers did not satisfy the king. But as he had little time, he had to start walking to the Mount of Olives, where the sage had asked to meet him. He walked with his 20 soldiers, and he reached the mountain by the dusk. He thought it would be inappropriate to meet the sage with so many soldiers, so he ordered them to stay at the bottom of the mountain, and he climbed alone. When he arrived at the top of the mountain, tired, the sage was meditating, so he waited for him to complete his meditation. 1 hour passed by, 2 hours passed by, 3 hours passed by, but the sage didn't stir. So the king decided that he would spend the night there, and in the morning he would ask the questions. So he put down his bag and he put down his sword, and he went to sleep in a nearby cave. The next morning, he woke up. The sunlight was streaming in the cave. There was a beautiful bird singing a song into his ear. The wind was whistling through the trees, and fresh air made him feel like he hadn't felt for a long time. He got up and rubbed his eyes. He saw the sage was not there, so he walked out of the cave and he saw a cliff, a glorious, glorious sight, because he could see his whole kingdom from there. In his castle, he never saw views like that. He saw the sun rising, the clouds moving in the sky, smelt the scent of the flowers. He was amazed to see his glorious kingdom, and the beautiful sight made him smile. In his palace every morning it was so different. When he woke up, he only got bad news. All his ministers and spies would tell him what was going wrong with the world. But here, he looked out over great beauty. And as he stood there on the cliff, admiring his kingdom, his heart connected with the earth. And he realized why he was a king. It was to serve all the people, to help them to have a beautiful and happy life. As he stood there smiling, someone patted him on his shoulder, and the king turned round to see the sage finally standing there. He had the king's sword pointing at him and looked deeply into the king's eyes, and he said, "King, tell me, what is the most important time? Who is the most important person? And what is the most important thing you could possibly do?" These three questions hit the king, and a twinkle came into his eye. Before the king had said a word, the sage smiled, realizing the king understood. "King, now you can go and rule your kingdom," said the sage. "But I haven't answered your question," said the king. "You no longer need to answer these questions," said the sage. "Your smile and your aura says it all. Anyway, the sacred pause will provide you with all the answers you need. So I will leave you with those three questions, and we can talk about it tomorrow when I'll reveal the answers. But tonight, the inspiring Gematori will be meditating with you beautiful people as we enjoy the power of the full moon. Before you begin, please open sacred space and send healing to the country of New Zealand, and especially the Maori population, to all the rivers, the mountains, and to all the animals that live there. Please also send healing to the health workers and carers who continue their incredible work across our planet. Thank you for everything you're doing. Please send healing to Amanda Boots, who needs our love right now and our healing on behalf of our beautiful sister Katie. And to my daughter, Mila, who has been panicking with COVID-19 about going back to school. Thank you. Please send healing to our sister Vanya, who needs our love and healing right now too. And to anyone else who is worried or apprehensive as many countries relax their lockdown rules. Finally, send some healing to Connie Bowen on behalf of our dear sister Rosemary, one day after her first day of chemo. My beautiful people, the revolution has begun. Let's evolve with honor and grace. Yours in peace and love, Peter. Namaste.